In November of 2023, an unimaginable crime took place in a seemingly idyllic home on Bentwood Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. A lovely house that could be reminiscent of a home in a Norman Rockwell painting. The manner of the offense was so horrific that a local deputy said there was no way any human being could have survived, let alone two small boys ages 9 and 6. In this video, we will attempt to shed light on this rapidly evolving case, offering a detailed look at the known facts, the repercussions of the incident, and the latest legal proceedings. We also seek to address the haunting question that everyone following this case is asking. What drove the perpetrator to commit such a heinous act? The role of a mother in the lives of her children is one of profound significance, a sacred duty that encompasses the responsibility to protect, nurture, and guide. A mother is often seen as the first line of defense against the world's harsh realities, providing a haven of safety and love. However, when this natural role is violently disrupted, it not only contradicts these fundamental beliefs, but also causes widespread devastation, affecting both the immediate family and the broader community. On the evening of Tuesday, November 7th, in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, a neighbor noticed 32-year-old single mother of two, Tiffany Lucas, in an agitated state. She was vigorously cleaning carpets outside her home on Bentwood Drive. When the neighbor asked about her well-being, Tiffany vaguely responded, "There's a lot going on." The next day, the peace and calm of a new morning was shattered by 4 gunshots, all fired within a span of 30 seconds. Moments later, at approximately 11 in the morning, a visibly distressed Tiffany approached a neighboring couple's home, crying out, "Help, my kids are dying," before collapsing on the couple's driveway. The neighbor's husband rushed into Tiffany's house and made a horrifying discovery. He found Tiffany's 2 young sons gravely injured and bleeding, but still alive. Nearby lay a gun, presumed to be the weapon used. Responding officers observed that the injuries inflicted on the boys were in areas typically not survivable. The children were immediately transported to Norton Children's Medical Center in Louisville. Emergency surgery was initiated, but despite the best efforts of the medical staff, the 2 small boys died from their injuries. Tiffany was arrested at the Bullitt County Emergency Medical Services facility and booked into the county detention center less than 1 hour later. She was held on a bond of $2 million. This grisly scene, unfolding so suddenly, left the citizens of Bullitt County reeling in shock and disbelief.
You don't expect this, no matter where you live. Just put yourself in these people's place and think, well, it can happen to anyone. And it was shocking, actually. Nobody ever thinks it's going to happen in your neighborhood. Just love your family and hope nothing like this ever happens to anyone else.
Back at the sheriff's office, Tiffany Lucas was interviewed and, according to one official, made statements that she was being manipulated through the internet or through Wi-Fi, through Facebook and through her Wi-Fi. Being manipulated into doing what she did. Tiffany's statements are perplexing and raise several questions about her intentions and mental state. Is she suggesting she was influenced by auditory hallucinations to harm her children? Alternatively, is she hinting that someone else handed her the weapon with instructions to hurt her kids? Based on published reports, she allegedly told detectives the shootings were accidental and that she inadvertently left a loaded weapon within reach. If so, are we to believe the children found it and used it to wound each other? Considering their ages and injury location, most reasonable people would find that claim preposterous. Neighbors interviewed by local media were in a state of disbelief, consistently reporting that they saw no warning signs or indications that Tiffany was capable of committing such a heinous act. A woman identifying herself as a close friend was particularly shocked, stating, "This is not the Tiffany I know. She would never hurt her babies." This tragic event has deeply saddened the community, leaving many in search of answers. To possibly shed light on this, we will examine Tiffany's background and recent history for any clues that might explain her actions.
What's up, y'all? We out here. Peanut. We're out here swimming. Me and the kids. What y'all doing? It's really nice over here. Me and my fat daddy. So what's up? He wants to go in the water.
As stated on her Facebook profile, 32-year-old Tiffany Ann Lucas originally hails from Chicago, Illinois. She had two young sons, Jaden and Maurice, who were both under the age of 10 and fathered by different men. The boys attended Freedom Elementary School in Bullitt County. Tiffany and her sons resided in a rented home, which was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom property spanning nearly 1,400 square feet. Raised alongside her brother, Tiffany shared an exceptionally close bond with her father, John Lucas. He affectionately regarded her as daddy's little girl, fitting the typical stereotype of a doting father. Tiffany's active presence on social media portrayed a complex image of her life. She frequently shared selfies and photos that showcased her fashion sense and flaunted her assets. Yet, the most recurring theme in her posts was her identity as a devoted mother. She often posted pictures of joyful moments with her sons, who were always seen smiling warmly, presenting an outward image of familial happiness. In contrast, delving deeper into Tiffany's background uncovers a history of significant challenges and adversity. Initially, Tiffany pursued modeling in her early adulthood, later venturing into entrepreneurship. In 2016, she opened Miss Tiff's One-Stop Shop, a convenience store offering food, tobacco, and various sundries. Despite her efforts, the store struggled to gain traction and closed in 2017. Tiffany attributed part of this failure to Walmart's scrapped plans for a nearby location, which she believed would have increased foot traffic to her business, as she discussed in an interview with a local news station in 2016.
A lot of people don't make their way down here, but if there's a Walmart, you come out of the woodworks for Walmart. So probably would have brought a lot of people to, stop and check us out.
Following this setback, Tiffany was arrested on drug charges. She pleaded guilty to drug possession in 2018 and served a 30-day jail term, according to court records. Notably, there's no indication of violent behavior in her past, nor any arrests between the drug charges and the events currently under discussion. Most recently, she was working a job that required her to perform overnight shifts, the specifics of which are unclear. The next major event in Tiffany's life was a profound personal tragedy. On New Year's Day in 2019, her father, 47-year-old John Lucas from Crown Point, Indiana, passed away suddenly. This loss was a devastating blow to Tiffany, plunging her into a state of shock and deep grief. Her father had been a crucial source of strength, guidance, and stability for her, and his unexpected passing left a significant void. Tiffany openly expressed her sorrow and the impact of this loss in a video posted on her Facebook page.
When my dad was alive and would come visit me, I would always bring him here, and he loved it. So since I can't go all the way back up north, I'm releasing balloons for my dad. And I love him so much. And I hope you have the best Father. They didn't have Father's Day balloons, but I got a smile on my face because you always make me smile, and a flower because you always bought me flowers. Be grateful if your father is here be present in his life, mend relationships. You never know. I watch my son struggle without his, and we struggle without mine. So be grateful.
Tiffany's life continued on a path marked by personal tragedies and hardships. Just 7 months after the sudden loss of her father, she faced another blow when Darrell Howard, the 38-year-old father of one of her sons, was murdered. This case is still considered an open homicide by the Louisville Metro Police Department. Within a year, before she could fully process his loss, her mother suffered a stroke and was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Amidst these personal crises, Tiffany also struggled financially. By the day of the shooting, her situation had become dire. The utilities in her home had been disconnected, and an eviction notice was found on her kitchen counter. To a young mother struggling to pay the bills, an eviction notice represents a profound sense of vulnerability. It's not just a piece of paper. It symbolizes a looming threat to her and her children's stability and safety. This moment often brings a surge of emotions: fear, as the prospect of losing her home becomes a harsh reality, anxiety about where she will go and how she will provide for her children, and possibly shame or guilt, stemming from societal expectations and personal aspirations of being able to provide a secure environment for her family. This series of events and challenges paints a picture of Tiffany's overwhelming difficulties, culminating in the tragic and unjustifiable events of November 8th. Tiffany presented a seemingly emotionless demeanor during a remote court appearance on November 9th. This was notably evident even when District Court Judge Jennifer Porter set her bail at $2 million. Judge Porter set the high bond, citing concerns over Tiffany's potential risk to others. Her decision underscores the gravity of the charges against Tiffany, particularly the 2 counts of murder. Further emphasizing the perceived risk posed by Tiffany, especially regarding access to weapons, Judge Porter included a specific condition in the bond terms that explicitly prohibits Tiffany from possessing firearms should she manage to post the bond. Through her attorney, Tiffany entered a plea of not guilty. As of the time of this upload, the next hearing has yet to be scheduled. The events and challenges faced by Tiffany, as detailed in this video, offer some context and understanding of the circumstances leading up to the incident on November 8th. However, it's crucial to emphasize that understanding the context does not justify the inexcusable actions that occurred on that day. This distinction is important to maintain. As this case progresses through the Kentucky court system, the full extent of the facts is yet to be established, and numerous unanswered questions remain. These include whether the prosecution will pursue the death penalty, the details of Tiffany's mental health history, and the severity of her substance abuse issues. Complicating the situation further is an alleged custody dispute involving Tiffany and the paternal family of her son, Jaden. Darrell Howard, Jaden's older brother, expressed in a published report, "We wanted them. We would have taken them with open arms. We loved them so much." Howard also mentioned that several family members had contacted Child Protective Services over the years, voicing concerns about Tiffany's parenting. These revelations cast a spotlight on Child Protective Services and its handling of the situation, raising critical questions. How were the alleged referrals regarding Tiffany Lucas managed? Did any investigations into her conduct take place, particularly after her drug conviction? And crucially, why did she retain custody of her children? Or if there was an order for removal, was it properly enforced? As more details come to light, the families of Jaden and Maurice, along with the residents of Bullitt County, are awaiting justice with a mix of patience and anticipation. This case not only impacts the immediate parties involved, but the community as a whole, as it may pose significant questions about the effectiveness and responsiveness of child welfare services.